My dear students, welcome to GSS Chemistry channel. Today, part 5, lecture 5 of acids, bases and salts that is going on. In today's class, we will consider the liberation of hydrogen gas when certain metals are treated with acids or bases. Both the cases we will apply what type of metal is to be taken, what type of base is to be taken, what type of acid is to be taken. Generally, metal plus acid will give you some salt plus hydrogen gas. Similarly, metal plus base will also sometimes give you salt plus hydrogen gas. In both the cases, evaluation of hydrogen is taking place. Let us study conditions. Under what conditions the liberation of hydrogen, evaluation of hydrogen is taking place when metal is treated with acid or base. First of all, as mentioned in your syllabus, we are taking the action of zinc on HCl dilute. Similarly, action of zinc on base like concentrated NaOH. These two are given in our book. Apart from that, we can take other metals also and other bases, other acids also. Let us consider all these. First of all, I am taking zinc. Zinc is solid. You are adding dilute HCl dilute. Generally, active metals displace the hydrogen of the acid and thereby hydrogen will be evolving as hydrogen gas. There H is a positive part, H plus Cl minus. So H plus will be removed by zinc. Zinc will be going into the solution. So here, this will be going into the solution. This is aqua because it is dilute. Zinc is going into the solution in the form of zinc chloride, ZnCl2. That remains in aqua because it is soluble in water, plus H2 gas is obtained, which is a gas, upward arrow mark. This is the reaction taking place. Here two hydrogens are there, and two hydrogens are right here, 2Cl, Cl2, the equation itself is balanced. So when zinc is treated with dilute HCl, that means you can take dilute HCl in a beaker, you add zinc granules to it, hydrogen gas will be evolved, right? So this is the metal, this is the acid, dilute acid, you are getting hydrogen gas. And this can be shown experimentally. This is the experimental details. This is the retort stand to which a test tube is fitted, right? And then it is fitted with a one-hole rubber stopper through which a delivery tube is passed, right? Into this test tube, you have to take dilute HCl and zinc granules. After taking dilute HCl, you have to add zinc granules. From the removing stopper once, you have to add zinc granules and replace it immediately. The other end of the delivery tube is placed in a soap water. Soap water is present in glass trough or any trough we can take. This is the experiment. These two will react according to this equation. And here hydrogen gas will be liberated. Here hydrogen gas will be liberated. This hydrogen gas passes through the delivery tube, okay, and then comes to this end. And here the other end of the delivery tube is placed in soap water. So due to the evolution of gas, some bubbles are coming out. Formation of bubbles in soap solution indicates the evolution of gas. And what is that gas you have to know, identify. Every gas will be having its characteristic properties by which it can be recognized, it can be identified. So for that purpose, into this gas which is obtained in the form of bubbles, to this you have to introduce a burning splinter or a burning candle. When a burning candle is introduced into this gas, this will be turned off, this will be turned off, and the gas will be, this gas puts off the burning splinter, and so after this, the hydrogen gas gives, along with this putting of the burning splinter, it puts out the burning splinter with pop sound. Puts off the burning candle or splinter with pop sound. This is burning splinter. So the burning splinter turns off by the gas, and gas itself gives it pop sound. With pop sound, it puts off the burning splinter, and at the same time, itself burns with light blue flame. That is nothing but the hydrogen gas. When the burning splinter is put off with pop sound, that is the characteristic property of hydrogen gas. Giving the pop sound is the recognition of hydrogen gas. And at the same time, it also burns with light blue flame. That is another indication. So all this is happening here. So the coming gas is nothing but hydrogen gas. In that way, it is recognized. So this is the case here. And let us take one more. Same experiment I am repeating with, this is the acid, dilute acid I am taking here. Now same experiment I am repeating, zinc sulfide, zinc solid plus NaOH I am taking here. NaOH. This is strong base. This is strong base. At the same time, you have to take concentrated. You have to take concentrated NaOH, not dilute NaOH. You should not take dilute. It should be concentrated NaOH. Then the reaction exists. With dilute elements, the reaction may not be possible. So conditions you have to apply with base. For acid, the dilute condition is sufficient. For the base, you have to take compulsorily concentrated NaOH. Then the reaction exists here, and this will be converted into a complex which you call Na2ZnO2. This is what you call sodium zincate. Sodium zincate is a complex. Of course, it is soluble in water. Plus, along with which hydrogen gas is also evolved. Right? So here H2, 2NaOH, Na2ZnO2, equation itself is balanced now. So, in the place of dilute HCl, even you can take concentrated NaOH. Repeat the same experiment. Repeat the same experiment. In the place of dilute HCl, you have to use concentrated NaOH. Same result is obtained. Once again, hydrogen gas is obtained, that is tested for its existence. Burning splinter is introduced. It puts off the burning splinter with pop sound. Itself burns with a light blue flame. So hydrogen gas is evolved there. And here you have to remember this formation of sodium zincate. Zinc is able to give the salts as well as complex ions. ZnO2 2 minus is the complex ion, zincate ion, and Na2ZnO2 is the complex. It is soluble in water, so it is obtained in the aqueous form. So these are the equations you can represent. Up to this level, it is sufficient. Now we have to discuss further. Some more thing you have to now discuss. What is to be discussed here? Meanwhile, please note it. Now, basing on their reactivity, these metals can be divided into three categories. Basing on reactivity. Metals can be divided into three types. One is most reactive, highly reactive. The other one is moderately reactive. Third one is least reactive. In this way, metals can be divided into three types: highly reactive metals, moderately reactive metals, least reactive metals. What can be included here? Generally, first A group, second A group, alkali metals, alkaline earth metals, along with some p block elements, p block metals, will be included in the highly reactive. In the case of moderately reactive, some B block elements, some D block elements will be included. And in the least reactive, always reactive, the least reactive, those are particularly 4 D block elements are included here in the least reactive. So this is the classification of the metals basing on the reactivity. Of course, some exceptions may be there. Now we can take here highly reactive, potassium we can take, sodium in the first A group. Similarly, you can take calcium, magnesium, strontium, barium also you can take. Even aluminum also you can take here. Aluminum can be included in the highly reactive metals. Aluminum can be included in this category. Right? These are all highly reactive. In the case of moderately reactive, we can take zinc, we can take lead, we can take tin, we can take iron also here. Like this, we can take some metals there. These are the important. Zinc is taken as moderately reactive, almost equal to highly reactive, but it is included in the moderately reactive list. In the case of least reactive metals, generally we will consider HAPA. H means Hg, A means Ag, P means platinum, A means Au. So, these are mercury, silver, platinum, gold. These are the least reactive metals. Remember in this way. If you remember in this way, they can be easily recollected. HAPA. And one more important metal I have to mention here, copper. Sometimes copper will be included in the least reactive category, and sometimes it will be included in the moderately reactive category. This may be included here also. Sometimes it may be included here, basing on the type of reaction existing there. So, at the present, we can take it in moderately reactive, depending on the extraction of metals, basing on the activity on acids. This can be included here in the least reactive. In the case of metallurgy, it can be included here. In the case of action of metals on dilute acids, copper will be included here. So copper is the edge of between these two. Okay, this is the categorization of metals. You can take any one of these metal, any one of these moderately active metal, except copper. Except copper. All these will react with acids, dilute acids. You can take dilute HCl or dilute sulfuric acid. Either one you can take. Generally HNO3, we need not consider it because it is specific, its oxidizing action is different. So you have to separately consider the action of HNO3 on metals and non-metals. That is separate topic. So generally we will take dilute HCl and dilute sulfuric acid. All these highly reactive metals, all these moderately reactive metals, but not copper here. These react with all these dilute acid, giving you hydrogen gas. You can take, for example, Na plus very dilute HCl. You will get here NaCl plus H2. That means you have to take 2, you have to take here, you have to take 2 here. But you need not take HCl in the case of sodium, because sodium is able to liberate hydrogen gas with water also. You need not take HCl. And that is why these highly reactive metals, potassium, sodium in particular, you need not take HCl. But for calcium, magnesium, aluminum, for these, with water, their reaction is very, very slow. And that is if you take here the reaction with acids, dilute sulfuric acid or dilute H2SO4, H2 gas will be obtained. You can take, for example, aluminum plus H2SO4, dilute, don't forget. You will get here aluminum sulfate, formula being Al2SO4 thrice plus H2 gas will be obtained, no doubt. You have to balance it. H2SO4 thrice means 3H2SO4 you have to take. Al2 means 2Al you have to take. 3H2 means you have to take 3H2 here. This is the balanced equation. 2Al plus 3H2SO4, Al to SO4 thrice plus 3H2. In this way, any metal you can take, all these metals will be reacting with dilute acids, liberating hydrogen gas. And these, if you take, cannot liberate. These cannot liberate hydrogen gas from dilute acid. These cannot liberate hydrogen gas from dilute acid, and in that particular aspect, this is included here. Copper is included here, not here. Copper also cannot liberate H2 gas when treated with dilute HCl or dilute sulfuric acid. And so, in that way, copper is least reactive with respect to acids. But in the metallurgical operations, it is treated as moderately reactive. So, that is categorization. So, that is why copper is specific interest. Okay. Now, we have to consider bases also. Please note it. Next, let us consider the action of concentrated NaOH or concentrated KOH. Concentrated NaOH, or in the place of NaOH, you can take KOH, reacts with metals like zinc, aluminum, lead, tin. And these four are important to liberate hydrogen gas. In the place of NaOH, you can take KOH also, because these two are very strong bases. And particularly, you have to take here concentrated NaOH. You are taking four metals here: zinc, aluminum, lead, tin. These are able to react with concentrated NaOH also, because these are able to dissolve in NaOH, giving you complexes. That is the reason. So, already one equation was written here. Zinc reacts with concentrated NaOH, giving you sodium zincate and hydrogen gas. Even you can take here aluminum. You can take aluminum solid, to which NaOH is added. And of course, in order to balance the equation here, it is essential to add H2 molecule also. Otherwise, the equation will not be balanced. You will get here NaAlO2, NaAlO2. This is what you call sodium meta-aluminate. Or even sometimes you may write it as sodium aluminate, Na plus AlO2 minus, plus H2 gas. Okay. We have to balance it. Aluminum, sodium, O2, O2. But there are three hydrogens on the left side. You have to get three hydrogens here. So you have to write here 3 by 2. Equation is balanced, but you should not use fractional values in the cases completely balanced equation. So multiply this whole equation by 2. Then it can be written as 2Al plus 2NaOH plus 2H2O will give you 2Na-AlO2 plus 3H2. Bas. Similarly, you can take tin or lead, same results will obtain. You can take, for example, tin, SN, tin, treated with sodium hydroxide. You will get here Na2SnO2, sodium stannite, plus H2, right? Na2, 2, O2, okay, SN, 2 hydrogens. Equation is balanced. Similarly, you can take here Pb, Na2, PbO2, sodium plumbite. In this way, concentrated NaOH is able to react with metals like zinc. Zinc and aluminum most specific. Aluminum reacts concentrated NaOH, zinc reacts concentrated NaOH, giving you hydrogen gas. But other product you have to remember, sodium metalaluminate and sodium aluminate are on the other hand, and this is sodium zincate. Even Pb, lead, tin also able to react. Okay, this is the action of acids and bases. In particular, with acids more important, any dilute acid plus any active metal, hydrogen gas is obtained. Copper is unable to liberate hydrogen gas when treated with dilute HCl or dilute sulfuric acid. Why? That is a question belonging to electrochemistry. You will learn it in +2 level. Okay, at present leave it. HAPA, least reactive metals, never react. Their compounds are also unstable. That list was completely given to you in the action of heat and nitrates. Please refer to it. You can see all those facts there. So in this way, you can consider the action of metals like zinc on acids and bases. Acids dilute, bases strong. Okay, this is the diagrammatic explanation. This is the experiment details. With this part is over. In the next part number 6, we will take the reaction of acids with carbonates and bicarbonates where the bases will not involve in the reaction. Okay. Thank you very much for your kind watching of my video lecture. Thank you.